Hi, this is William from Galway City. You're listening to the Hoodrat Recap.
Boys and girls in America. Boys and girls in America. Boys and girls in America. Boys and girls in America.
Don't bother talking to the guys with the hot soft eyes. You know they're already taken. Don't even speak to all those sequencer and bits, boy. Oh, when they kiss, it's white noise.
We got bored. So we started a podcast about the best bar band in the land. Man, this is the Hoodrat Recap, and we are back with your steady stream of the unified scene, while the news and reviews of the band that you love, we love, and we're going to get very specific about the Pacific Northwest. Should have spit all over myself. Okay. Hey, everybody, Hey, everybody, this is Stage Right Mike on the mic, and I can talk hold steady all night. And when I like to talk hold steady heavy, I throw up the rat signal. And just like that, the Hood Rat Pack has assembled. And hark. Oh, that's that noise that can only be coming out of Queens, New York. And I know y'all think Peter Parker is the most famous man out of Queens, New York. And I know everybody thinks Peter Parker wears the most body spandex of anybody in Queens, New York. But you would be mistaken, because he has been usurped by one man. And that one man is the unified scene's very own King of Queens, Gaspar. Gaspar, how you doing today?
I mean, the thought of me in spandex is scary. I'm doing pretty good, man. But you know what? I've been trying to get people to call me Starbucks.
Why is that, Gaspar?
Because I'm bold, sophisticated, and people line up for me every morning.
How's that working out for you, by the way?
Not so good, man. Not so good. People keep calling me Sanka.
Ooh, yeah, you don't last. The flavor doesn't last very long on you. Yeah, you see that.
Kevin's covering his face. I love it.
I mean, one of the greatest coffees in the world you tried to be.
Wait, we're calling Starbucks the greatest coffee in the world?
I said one of first off. Second of all, like, look, it is. I mean, if I'm going for a French press or some private coffee shop, that's one thing. But like, as a chain, Starbucks is great. Their matcha slays. But you literally just tried to say, wait, what was the hook? People line up for me? Like, what? Who? What? Help me. Help me. Help me. Jesus, please. I mean, fucking A, man.
And that's the sound of our third mic and our producer. Kevin is whatever. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm literally. I want to go have a cup of coffee now. But I'll go to Dunkin' just to be as far away from anything close to you as possible. Not that I would ever drink Sanker anyway, so I can go be in the bottom shelf of the supermarket aisle anyway. But otherwise, I am lovely. It is always great to see you guys. Great to catch up, and we're going to have a great conversation looking at the Pacific Northwest shows, which I was excited to hear about since I could not be there. But after hearing some of the stories, that kind of also plays to my thing like, hey, man, I'm glad I wasn't there. Good.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a fun scene report. But before we get to that, Mike, we had not one, but two speak pipes.
Yeah, where's the double sounder? We need the double sounder for those.
I knew there was a reason why Mike was smiling and glowing so much, and I forgot that we got the speak pipes. I literally had such a brain. You know why? Because I was still fucking reeling from your Starbucks bullshit that I forgot we got speak pipes. But you would think the big smile on Mike's face right now would have let me know. Not only did we get one speak pipe, but we got two. So thank you to the listeners for really. Mike is literally glowing right now. If you could see him, it's an aura.
They're both awesome.
All right, well, let me not hold Mike back from his moment here. Let's jump into the first one. This is actually going to be about our last episode of Diamonds in the Drain. So let's check it out.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, fellas, this is John. Great podcast on Diamonds in the Drain last time. It's funny, I did not consider that the line in Lord, I'm Discouraged about 5 or 6 minutes referred to sex. I always thought it was a drug deal. But actually, thinking about it makes more sense now because likely Holly, kind of at the stage she's at that point, is not having a drug dealer come to her house. Or if he is, he's coming there to do other business as well. So, where she would probably go into a drug dealer's house. So I think that's a good take by you guys. Also on Sequestered, fun little story. CF and I were in Fort Myers for spring training for the Twins, like in 2007, 2008, I believe. Anyway, I went over and saw him when he came into the airport, and he had a rental car, and it was a new Mustang. And guess what else? What was really cool at the time? It had satellite radio, and this was pre-sequestered, so it kind of gives an insight as to how he absorbs different things from life and writes his awesome lyrics. Okay, good work, guys. See ya.
All right. Thanks, John. That was awesome.
So we get a little origin story about the satellite radio.
But I also love when the callers call in and agree with me, because I think I was the one that was saying how the 5 or 6 minutes I always read to be about sex, and you guys were like, no,
you
drugs,
and Mike were in
so...
the same camp, yeah.
All right, Mike, you could be in my boat. But you see, we were right. And anytime we're right and Gaspar's wrong, it's always a good day.
Well, I don't know if it was so much, I don't want to lose our PG-13 rating. I don't know if it was so much sex as a sex act, maybe, but I still think 5 or 6 minutes is too long because why do I have that 24-second shot clock on my headboard? I don't understand.
Mike loves that choke.
He loves it.
Did I say it last time?
He loves it.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's okay.
Cut it out. Cut it out then.
You can make your 3-point plays however you like, baby. However long it takes you. So thank you, John. Thank you, John, for agreeing with Mike and I. Thank you for telling Gaspar he's wrong. He always likes to think he's the guy that knows, and he's always in the drugs. I think it's because he's just got a penchant for narcotics that he's always like.
That's me, penchant for narcotics.
Penchant for narcotics.
All right, well, let's jump into the second speak pipe, which is going to be more on topic for our show today. So it's a nice segue. Let's check that one out.
Hi, this is Ben from Oklahoma calling for the first time, and I also saw my first 2 Hold Steady shows this past weekend. It was an amazing time. I had to rush straight from the airport on Friday to make it to Mississippi Studios after securing a ticket at the very last minute. I missed the first few songs, which, if you've seen the set list, is quite unfortunate, but it was an amazing set regardless. Such a small room, high energy, and what a way to start things off. Then on Saturday, I made my way over to the show in downtown with the Mountain Goats. The Mountain Goats are my second favorite band. I was introduced to the Hold Steady by seeing Craig open for the Mountain Goats numerous times. And wow, what a show. I hoped we'd maybe get some more of the bonus tracks from the album, but regardless, I mean, they brought the energy, the crowd brought the energy, and I will certainly be back for more. All right, stay positive, guys.
All right. So there we get Ben from Oklahoma. I think this is the first time we might have got, I know it's the first time we had a call for Oklahoma. So this is a guy that's always going to be traveling for shows because, you know, the Hold Steady is not going to go roll through OKC anytime soon. So here he goes. He travels and he catches a great show. So, and he left us a great voicemail. So thanks, Ben. That was awesome.
Yeah, and it sounds like, and we'll get to it in our coverage of the shows, but these were pretty good shows if you had to pick a show to be your first Hold Steady show. This is a great jumping off point. I mean, you're getting a lot of what you're going to hope to get as a first time viewer of a Hold Steady show. So,
well, and that's the cool thing about Ben calling in. It's, you know, he's a new fan, and it's nice to see that a band 25 years in is still picking up new fans the way they are, where it's like, you know, and the excitement is there. I always, we've talked about it a few times, but I get to live vicariously through other people. When I go to shows, I like to watch the other people because we've seen them a bunch. I mean, you guys are way more into the sweat and whatnot, where I'm usually in the back, not as sweaty. But yeah, it's fun for me to watch people. So to hear Ben call in and share his experience and how the band has gotten into him and how excited he is for being part of the scene, like that's what it's all about. That's what it's supposed to do. That's, you know, that's what all good music does. So I'm glad he called in. I'm glad he shared that with us. And, you know, it was also another great speak pipe for Mike. So he's 2 for 2 on this episode for great speak pipes.
I think we got to start handing out windbreakers for everybody that sends in a speak pipe, and we'll get a lot more. I mean, our budget, we can't get, you know, the windbreakers is kind of pushing our budget, but, you know.
We could send you the snap for a windbreaker, just like the little button. We could we'll mail you the buttons, and then you have to build your own. Maybe we'll just get a custom, build your own fucking windbreaker. We'll just get a button that says hold steady speak pipe, and then that might have to be, because that's all we could afford on the budget of this show, because we're, as you could tell, the high production we have.
All right. Well, on that note, why don't we jump into our scene report?
Scene report.
Whoa, I feel like I'm in Portland all over again. I'm seeing the little faces of Matt and Rachel. And, you know, Matt's our returning champion. He's been here once before. Just go back to the episode with the cool LA Dodgers tattoo. That's Matt's tattoo on that cover. Okay, so he's the returning champion, but we got a new contestant, Rachel from Seattle. So welcome, guys.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Glad to be back.
Have you guys recovered back from the shows yet, from last week's shows?
I think I had a few days of my hold steady hangover, but I'm ready now.
That's what I always have. Re-entry stuff, isn't it?
It is. It's hard. Yeah.
Did you guys do all the shows? Did you do every performance, both of you, that weekend?
Okay. We were at all the shows.
Absolutely.
All right. So being this is Rachel's first show, we like to do as an icebreaker, what is your hold steady origin story? How did you get into the band?
So my professional life, I was a graduate student in sciences, and then I was a postdoc in a lab. And this graduate student who worked like next to me, we had a little radio, our little old boombox kind of thing in our bay. And he, you know, we'd kind of changed up the music all the time. And he started playing the hold steady, started playing Stay Positive. And we would just keep putting it on over and over and over. And I was like, that's it, I'm hooked. And then I started listening to that all the time. And then I went backwards and forwards when new albums came out. Just listen to it. I mean, my husband will say that I just started listening to it like 24/7. Essentially, it was just kind of all I would play. And then I finally went to my first show in 2019, and that was like the big game changer for me. And meeting all the people, and it becoming a much bigger part of my life because of you know, just traveling to shows and being a part of the scene. So yeah,
nice. So, did the person that introduced you to the band with his radio, has he ever attended a show with you?
So when we were in Denver, I contacted him because he's in Denver now. And I was like, you should come to a show. You introduced me to this band. And he was busy, unfortunately. But I did try.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I think I got hooked more than he did. It's okay.
So now, do you keep track of how many times you've seen the band, or do you just go and not worry about it?
I do. I didn't do the math before I came here, but it's probably around 50 counting sound checks. I know some people count sound checks, some people don't, but it's probably around there. And that's not counting the live streams, though, which I did a lot of those during like the COVID year stuff.
All right. That's a pretty decent number to rack up since 2019.
Yeah, I've been hard. Lots of
Where was that
after
first show? Where was that first 2019 show?
Seattle.
Was it local or were you traveling?
Yeah, it was Seattle. And that's what made me be like, oh, people travel to these shows and I should do that. And why not? So yeah, I kind of learned a lot at that first, got a good window into how it works.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Matt, you traveled for this show, not as far as you've traveled for other shows, but how many times would you say this has been that you've traveled for a show now for the whole study?
I believe it's funny because I always go back to the third show in Denver in 24 was Silver Anniversary. That was my 25th. So I always go back to that and start counting. So I think Sunday was 41.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's get into the residencies in the Pacific Northwest. To start off with, Pub Quiz got canceled from what I heard.
Snafu. Yeah. So,
what happened there?
So Steve made it into Portland. He got his flight from Memphis was fine. The rest of the guys, were basically sitting on a tarmac for many, many hours. until the flight finally got canceled. They were on like a 6 p.m. flight over, which is just a really not ideal time to be traveling in New York City in the summer because thunderstorms like to happen at that time, which is what happened. So they got stuck and they got put on the first plane the next day and they made it there. But I think they were just going to be too zonked, Made more sense for them to like get a chance to rest and, not have to go and need time to sound check and all that jazz. So that's my understanding.
Yeah. So, it's funny after the Chicago debacle where, as of the morning of the first show, I was told via text that they had no keyboard player or merch guy yet. The big talk was, all of us were saying, you got to fly in the day before. Well, they tried to do that this time and they still wind up in trouble. But I always come the day before, even if it's a short trip. You never know.
Right. I mean, plus, even if you get messed up on that day before, at least you have that day now. It's going to mitigate a lot of the chances.
And I think they always planned to go the day before for the West Coast because it's obviously a big trip. Mm-hmm. But it's still just they needed like 2 days in this case, unfortunately. Or they needed like a morning flight. That would have been
And also it's just tough too because once you do that 6 o'clock flight out of New York with the time difference to go from New York to California, it takes so long, that east to west flight, that if you don't get it or there's any delays, you're pretty much stuck.
You're done.
Because that's going to be pretty much the last one they're going to go to, especially to Seattle. For as much as I travel, I run into that often.
I always try to get the earliest flight, even though it means getting up at, dark 30, but you get that 6 a.m. flight and it's never delayed.
Right.
We were joking with Steve, like, you were going to have to do the whole show all by yourself. It was a great
show.
I mean, Steve should have done the pub quiz by himself and just played on every team, honestly. Like, that would have been really impressive.
Steve versus the world.
Yeah.
I believe Steve could have pulled it off. That's how much faith I have in Steve, that he could have done the pub quiz by himself and literally carried the whole thing.
And Josh was there, so he could have done it too. He made it apparently.
I think Josh was meant to be the proctor, I believe. I think he was. Josh was going to be the proctor of the pub quiz, I believe. Yeah.
Well, Steve won in Minneapolis.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, then this would have been great because he could have defended his title because he had nobody to lose to.
He wins by default.
So he wins by default, and literally he would have had back-to-back pub quiz wins, which probably would have been a first. I don't think anybody's done that yet.
Solid.
Steve was the most energetic person at the show by far that first night. Like, he had so much energy and enthusiasm, and he was like jumping
most
and
rested,
happy.
Jumping.
Yeah. And everyone else was like, you could tell they were tired. I mean, they did a good job, but they were clearly tired. You know what I mean?
Pulled it up.
Which is understandable.
I don't know if he was showing off to the other guys or what. But.
Maybe.
He was the only one that wasn't working on 2 hours sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So fair.
If that.
So we get to the venue the first night, and I want to hear what you guys think of the venue. Is this your first time there at Mississippi Studios?
Not me.
It holds 375 people. I kind of looked
allegedly.
it up. Empty allegedly empty bottles at 400, so it's a little smaller than Empty Bottle. The 7th Street entry holds 250, so it's bigger than that. This was your first time there, and what did you think of the venue?
Well, it was my first time. I'd been by there a few times, but all three of those numbers sound a little inflated, having been to all those venues. But yeah, I mean, I did like it. You mentioned those. There's the Lodge Room in Los Angeles. The smaller venues that are really, I'll tell you what, of all the shows, that was the second hottest. Like, when that show ended and we walked outside, outside of the 7th Street entry, that was by far the hottest show. But I like the fact that it, had that little restaurant bar attached to it, literally attached to it. To get into the show, you had to come in through the bar. And we didn't know that at first. We're like waiting outside. Remember, Rachel and Olsen were like, hey, man, we got to go inside this bar. It was pretty wild.
Yeah. So I went in 2023. And the funny thing, I have pictures of this too. There were signs all over the place, like no confetti, no glitter. Like, they were mad, right? And then we get in there and there are rugs down in the venue. And we're like, oh, that's not going to be good. So the venue was like, so we threw our confetti, like people snuck it in, normal, whatever. And there are pictures and videos of Craig, like people handed him a bag of confetti on the stage and he's like throwing it on himself, having a good time. Josh said the venue was so mad. unbelievably mad, which makes sense. So they didn't have any rugs this time. I noticed they must have known and pulled them up, but there were no signs. I brought my confetti and they saw it in my bag. Nobody said anything. So, they knew what they were getting.
Yeah, they knew they're fighting a losing battle, huh?
Yeah, for real. No, we started the cleanup crew that weekend. We cleaned up in Revolution Hall, and they were very they were happy about that because they were mad. They were ready to be really mad. But when we swept up, they were like, okay. So that was when the cleanup crew began. Was in Portland.
You got to wonder: is it easier to clean the confetti off of a rug with a vacuum, or is it easier to sweep it on a floor?
I'm gonna go with sweep on a floor.
Look, having done the sweeping on the floor, some of that shit sticks to the floor.
They were really mad.
Beers and stuff.
Really mad.
We even volunteered to clean up Mississippi Studios, and then we're like, "No, that's okay, you guys. We're good."
Yeah, they knew. Yeah, but I like that venue. I mean, I like a small, sweaty venue. I feel like that's where the Hold Steady shines.
I'm going to ask for my own edification. Was that a seated show? Because I would have loved it, but I'm going to guess you're going to.
No, I don't think any of this weekend was seated.
I think the upstairs had some seats. Right?
That's where I would be. Give me the balcony and the.
Yeah, they seem like pretty sweet seats up there. But,
I like to be in the mix of it. I think a lot of us do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't see him, but apparently Patterson Hood was at that show.
Oh wow!
Oh, nice.
He posted a couple of Instagrams from upstairs.
So since you said it was the second hottest and sweatiest show, does that mean confetti was stuck on your forehead and stuff? Because that's what happens to me as a bald dad.
It actually was stuck on people's foreheads. Yep.
That's like my worst nightmare is I go to leave and there's literally pieces of confetti stuck to part of my head, and I'm just like.
I mean, if you're down in front, you're finding confetti for weeks.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's the other thing
confetti all over.
When you get the confetti, you get back to the hotel room, you get all the confetti off you, but the dye, so it still looks like you have confetti on your arms.
Right.
Guys are doing a great job selling me on this. No wonder why the venue hates it.
I wonder with all the Hold Steady hat tattoos if anyone has ever taken that dye of confetti and just made that their tattoo, like a confetti tattoo. It's an interesting idea.
I know somebody has the Stay Positive sign and it's filled with confetti.
That's
they kind of incorporated it, and I'm sure other people have creative stuff like that too.
No.
But nobody has the confetti Yeti. If somebody has a confetti Yeti tattoo, that's probably the biggest Hold Steady.
Yeah.
thing.
So Kev, you haven't seen Rachel's Hold Steady tattoo. She's got one of the best Hold Steady tattoos I've seen.
It's embroidery. Is what it's supposed to look like.
Oh, nice.
It's supposed to look like a patch.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of not. I don't know if I'm doing a good angle here.
No, I can see it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
In person, it's impressive.
Thanks. Took me a long time to commit, find someone who would do it, but I finally got it last year.
All right, so we're jumping into the first show, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
We'll start with, so what was the walkout music? We like to start there.
Oh, gosh.
I looked it up.
It was
I'm going to be
band.
useless.
It was a punk
band from the 80s?
It was a punk, because I Shazammed it, so give me a second. It was a punk
good on you, Matt.
Good job, Matt. Matt's on that.
It was a Portland punk band.
Yeah, it was a Portland punk band called The Wipers, and the song was Over the Edge.
All right. I don't know that one.
I knew that would come in handy.
Coming with the info right there. Yeah.
And so there was no opener for the show, right? This was just them playing and
no opener. There wouldn't have been no room for their equipment, to be honest. This stage was about the size of the 7th Street entry stage. Yeah.
Last time there was an opener. In 2023, it was the Mistons. And they were really good, actually.
Okay.
They were a pretty little punk band kind of thing, and they were fun. So they could do it, but they did not.
So what were some of the highlights of the show for you?
There were some good deep cuts. Going on a hike. Never heard that one, I don't think.
Yeah, I thought that was weird because,
it's weird.
So going on a hike is Heaven is Whenever's kind of B-side or deep cut. But they didn't play during this set anything that was a Boys and Girls in America, which I found surprising, a deep cut.
I think they were saving those for the other two. You know what I mean? Because those were going to be the album plays. That's what it seemed like to me.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, and Sweet Pain, Dream Down by the Water. When the set list gets posted and you see the people that didn't show up, they're like, oh, it's a lot of white whales, that kind of thing.
Right. And quite a few of the new songs, right?
I was going to say
Yeah.
Aladdin Ruts. That's one of the new ones, right?
Something called Aladdin
Cal
Ruts.
Expo. Yeah. Right,
Yeah, that's
which
like
is
Latin Ruts. When they play it live, we never know what they're playing until the end when they say the name.
True.
Yeah.
And it's not
And
a
you
whole
can
new
tell
world. So
because-
unless it's a whole new world, I never know what Aladdin song it is.
You can tell because you look around and no one's singing, no one's mouthing
singing.
words.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They did mention during the show, I think, that they're going to be recording the new album in a month, right?
Oh, wow.
Did I get that right, Matt?
Mm.
I said a couple months.
Did you say a couple months? Okay. Well, I mean, there's a
think so.
plan. It's happening. So, yeah. So,
I'm
yeah.
guessing probably spring like maybe a spring release before all the cities get announced. I don't know.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah,
you would know
that would
better.
make
That's
sense.
first quarter or second
Speculating.
quarter?
I mean, if it's March, it's first quarter. If it's April, it's second. It's I'm going to guess they'll probably do like an April-ish release. That would be Q2, ideally.
Okay.
Especially if it's not recorded yet, they need time to turn it around. Vinyl takes 3 to 6 months, depending on your plant and how much you're doing. So, like, if it's not even in the can yet, and they're going to record it in a few months, like Matt said, the turnaround will probably be April to start, I would think.
Right.
So is this the first time they've like previewed so much live music, so much of the new album live? Like, I'm really excited about the new album because I feel like they're like really figuring it all out.
Starting to learn the songs already because you're hearing them so often. Yeah,
exactly.
starting to learn them.
It kind of makes you wonder, like, how much of these songs are going to be on that record. Like,
I feel like a lot of them are. I mean, I hope a lot of them are. I think there's a lot of really, like,
They
I
all
love
sound
Cal
great.
Expo. That's the one. Every time they play it, I'm just like, I think it's their new like best sad song. I love that one.
I agree.
Yeah, there's lots of good stuff though.
You know better than I, but I believe, aren't we up to like 10 or 11 now?
Yeah. They played 10 songs.
Oh, yeah. They did the whole
Massive
album.
Nights.
Massive Nights in the afternoon for the sound check. They did the whole thing.
Yeah. And 10 is usually the number that they come in around for a record. There's, what is it? Stay Positive goes to 11. I think we were just talking about this with our Diamonds in the Drain segment. Trying to
Screws up our
decide
Diamonds in the Drain. Yep.
which die to roll for that. But so it would make sense that that's representative of the record, but they are road testing these songs and seeing what reactions are. So it's possible that something gets cut, replaced with something we haven't heard yet. And then there's the fact that like they keep changing the names of the songs. So you don't really know which one is which.
I do also.
Some feel like they're sticking though. There's a few.
I feel like some of the names are sticking, but I'm very curious to hear how those songs are going to evolve when you get in a studio versus the live versions. Because in a lot of settings, the studio version is always different, but they've played these so long in this set that like is what we hear what we're going to get, or is there going to be maybe some fun studio tricks to kind of zhuzh it up a bit while you're listening? I'm very curious to hear how that works out.
Yeah, a couple things. You know, they did this, you know, this is really hard to say, thrashing through the passion. You know, kicking out a couple songs every once in a while, and then it becomes an album. But the reason we didn't hear that much of it, because it came out in 19, and then next thing you know, we have no shows for 3 years.
Right.
You know, so there's that. And then something that they played a couple times, I think in Boston and in Chicago, that they didn't play at all this weekend was osmium, the heaviest of metals. Unless I just missed it, it's called something else now. I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think they.
I think they
played that.
stuck with osmium on that one.
You know what? If I heard it at the Massive Night sound check, and I haven't heard it since. So
I don't remember where, but it was at a sound check because he told the whole story about how osmium is the heaviest of metals, and this song is not heavy metal. But there was one song at Mississippi, maybe it was Aladdin Ruts. I'd have to go back. I just remember turning to Sue and just going, "Oh my God, that's a banger." I'd never heard it. And so maybe it was Aladdin Ruts. Guess we'll have to wait to find out.
I mean, every time they play all these songs, I really do enjoy them. So it's going to be a great record. And there does seem to be a lot of intertwining of characters on these songs, which is something I always look forward to in the Hold Steady. I drive Kevin crazy with it.
Oh, hands down. Without fail. He's already got yarn on songs we don't even know.
There's going to be a whole new murder board with new yarn and pins and hacks.
So what did they do? They did Jupiter, Malachi and Jessica, Cal Expo.
So at this show,
Aladdin
it's
one.
Dream Down by the Water.
Okay.
At this,
And then Aladdin Ruts, I thought there was
Expo.
another one. Cal
think that
Expo
was
in the
in the
might be
encore.
those three. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
encore, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's those three at this particular show.
Okay.
Right.
They debuted some other ones in the other two shows. I'm not recalling which. I should go take a look. But
I did notice too that Sequestered moved out of the encore back into really the main heart of the set, like right in the middle again. Lately, they've been doing that in the encore, which we've talked about how I think that's a cool spot for it, but it seems like at this show they put it kind of back where you're used to getting it.
I think it's just a fun way to switch up the set, you know, like because you don't expect to get it there. And they end the set with Resurrection, which one, it's my favorite song, and two, like, so Mississippi Studios was originally a church, so like that had to be a pretty cool vibe. I don't know how much it looks like a church anymore.
I did not know that. You would not know that going there, I don't think.
Gotcha. So in fairness, I did a little bit of research. This is Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is never wrong.
Exactly.
Mississippi Studios in Portland, Oregon is a musician-owned venue and recording studio with a general admission capacity of 375 in its main room in the Boise neighborhood. The studio opened in 2003. Jim Brunberg and Kevin Craddock are owners. The venue was formerly a Baptist church, but has since been completely rebuilt. Okay, there you go. And enlarged, partially using materials from the church. So still pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly the church
Now that you
vibe,
say
but
that, I
whatever.
can see it. I can see it.
So now, after night one, what other festivities? Do you head out? Do you go somewhere? Is there a particular place you like to hang in that area?
When we were there in 2023, we went to Sandy Hut, and that was where we went again, like kind of in the late evening shift of people who were willing to stay up way past bedtime.
Nice.
It's a divey place, you know.
That was after Prost, though. We went to Prost first.
Yeah, first we went to this German bar where some people were having like unusual like late night food, like cheese, beer, soup at like 11 at night or 12 at night.
That always ends
it was
well.
just funny. Yeah. And pretzels and, you know, all the German.
So what you want to be having at 12:30 night is a bowl of beer cheese soup.
Exactly.
My stomach just did a flip here. Like listening to it, my stomach fell over. I can imagine. Post-show after a few beers.
So tell us a little bit, was Sandy Hut, you said, was the name of the place? Tell us a little bit about Sandy Hut.
Oh, it has like an outdoor and an indoor spot. And there's, you know, I feel like I'm always at these places where these like people are walking around getting like kicked out by the bar, like by the venue. They're like, no, that person should not be here. They're causing some kind of trouble. And, you know, I feel like, but I don't know. That seems like par for the course somehow for Old Steady show post.
I think sketchy might be a little bit.
Yeah, sketchy is a good word for it. Yeah.
But
also chill. And of course they have Jello shots because God forbid we go somewhere that doesn't serve Jello shots. You know, like that's not allowed apparently. I don't know how we find these places, but yeah, it was fun.
So moving on to the second show, this is in a much bigger area. This is the Pioneer Courthouse Square.
Right.
Which we did a little Wikipedia on that too. Pioneer Courthouse Square is a 40,000 square foot public plaza in downtown Portland, Oregon, known as the city's living room. Pioneer Courthouse Square opened in 1984, occupies a full city block in the heart of downtown Portland, beyond the Southwest Morrison Street, Southwest 6th Street, Southwest Yamhill Street, and Southwest Broadway. The square serves as a central gathering place for residents and visitors, hosting 300 events annually, including festivals, concerts, political rallies, etc., etc. So this is an outdoor show.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And they set up a stage, I guess, in this square?
Yeah, it's in one corner.
Okay. Hot day that day or not so bad?
I was glad the smoke cleared. That was the big issue here, is it had been really smoky for a few, like dangerously smoky, like don't be outside kind of levels, but it miraculously cleared that day. Like that was the first like reasonable day to be outside. So that was very fortunate.
And that's from like wildfires going on, I'm assuming?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah, it wasn't brutally hot and the air was clear. So those were big wins.
I think the high was 90 that day. The hot part was, you know, doors I think were at 6:30. No, 6. Doors are 6. So we come scampering in, and on the outside it's all brick, and on the outside there's steps. So a lot of people went right for the steps in the rear, but of course the Rachels and the Matts, we go right to the front. But here's the thing,
as we do,
it's on a diagonal in a sense. So like we get to the front, and we're in the sun, and you look about 25 feet away and you can see the shadow line, and we're just waiting for it to keep creeping towards us. So for about the first 35 minutes, we're just roasting. And then the second that shadow hits you, like the temperature drops 10 degrees.
Nice.
Was it the mountain goats first?
That night, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they did like a flip-flop thing, right? Yeah.
And it was like kind of a joke, like to point out like who's a Hold Steady fan, who's a Mountain Goats fan, like trying to like define them by figure out who was who.
Is there that much of a division though? Like there's most of the people I know like both bands. Some people will call them like the Mountain Goats are their second favorite bands. We had a caller who actually called them the second favorite band. Some people are Mountain Goats fans, but also Hold Steady fans. I don't think there's like a division too much, right? Like you're pretty much going to see both, no?
A lot of crossover.
There's probably some people who are more like, punk rock, like the Hold Steady, and other people are maybe more for like the songwriting of the Mountain Goats kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But I don't know.
Yeah, you can always tell, as soon as the Mountain Goats leave the stage, you can see like the number of people that are up front with us that like all of a sudden disappear.
Yeah, and vice versa. You saw it at the zoo too. Like it switched around. It was the same. Like so you can see who's kind of backing off or coming up to the front based on who's there, like who they're really there to see.
That's my strategy. I figure out who's for the other band, and I get right behind them if they're in the fifth row, and I wait for their set to end, and then they just clear out, and you just follow right in there. Yeah, so
works.
I'm writing that down. That's very smart.
He's writing it down.
So now a show with the Mountain Goats, like, and I know it's actually two shows with the Mountain Goats. We'll get to the second one. It creates a lot of opportunity for, do we have guesting for one band or the other? So in other words, like does John come out to do a song with the Hold Steady, or does Craig come out to do a song with the Mountain Goats at all during this set?
Well, we can talk about that when we get to Sunday. They didn't do anything like that on Saturday.
Not in Portland.
Gotcha. Okay. How were the Mountain Goats?
The Mountain Goats, I'm one of those that, we go see them whenever we get the chance. They're actually playing in November in Los Angeles at Disney Concert Hall, which is, that's where the Los Angeles Philharmonic. It's like, from sound-wise, it's like supposedly the best concert hall on the West Coast. So I'm kind of curious how they're going to be in a place like that. So we're going, but yeah, you can also tell the people that don't really know them, because he comes out, they do Song for Lane Staley, which is off the new record, I think. And then he comes up and he goes, I'm going to do a new song. He goes, I'm going to do a song. It's about a cadaver sniffing dog. It's called Cadaver Sniffing Dog. And you can see some people in the audience were like, I'm sorry, what?
He brings so much joy. Like that's the part that reminds me of Craig. Like he's also like John Darnielle and all of the Mountain Goat kind of band. They're so like happy to be there and smiling and having a good time. And I love that. Like I love a band who's like, they love doing this. You know what I mean? They're like happy to do all that. But the other thing that was what a highlight for me was they did this song called When We Were Cool. And I'd never heard that one. And apparently it's not on any Mountain Goats album. And it's like a really beautiful, special song about like being bullied, but like you're over that, but you were, like you got through that. And it's just, I don't know, I'm kind of probably messing that up a little bit, but it's like very intentionally not on an album. Like they wanted to keep it special and magical. So you can find videos of it. So, I mean, you could,
have to
but
check that out. I don't think I've ever heard
that was really cool. And they did that song both in Portland and Seattle. And I've seen the Mountain Goats a few times, and I never kind of picked up on that one. I don't know if I just never like noticed it when a set that I saw, or if just it stood out this weekend.
Yeah, no, I'd never heard it.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't heard it either. So
I've seen them about 10 or 11 times. Never heard it.
Well, and you should have been getting a lot of new songs, because they're you mentioned that Lane Staley song, which I just love. And you heard Charlie Sheen reaches out to the feds, because they just released an album 24 hours before that. So their album was 24 hours old.
We Were Cool is not. That's an old one.
Yeah, that's an older song. But I'm saying you should have heard a lot of the new songs too, because just being a day old with their album there. So it's probably the first time playing it live to an audience who had a chance to hear them already. So yeah.
And John said that was a special place to him. Like he lived in Portland, and I think he went through like a tough period in his life, like dealing with like, not having a home, things like that. And he like stayed like Portland's that venue area, the Pioneer Square area. Like he stayed there like a lot. He talked about like kind of being there among other folks in kind of similar tough spots. So I don't know. Did you pick up on that, Matt? That he, that was a special place for him.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one of the other things I really like about them is, what do they have, like 75 albums now? And seriously, it's exaggeration, but
About that.
He grew up like 20 miles from where I live and where I grew up. So, he sings these songs about Claremont and Pomona. And, I went into a liquor store at Gary and Holt, and I'm like, yeah, I know exactly that liquor store. So that's kind of cool. And he was a psychiatric nurse at a state hospital that's like 5 miles from here before he ever got into this. He's got great stories. But last album before this one, that concept album about the people dying on the fishing boat, he only did one song from that record, Through This Fire. We sat down at the piano. Wow. And not to keep going, but Rachel, I thought it was really hilarious that on both nights, he sits down at the piano and he starts playing and he just stops. And he's like, he says, he'll say a couple lines and then he forgets the third line and someone in the crowd will shout it out and he goes, no, I just don't know the chord. He'll learn back to Matt and say, what's that next chord? And he's a mess and it's just beautiful. He couldn't get his new capo to work in Portland and he fussed with it for like a minute and finally he had his guitar tech come out.
He has a lot of technical snafus. It was comical though at that point. It was like, come on, man. Like he's like getting out his journal to like read the lyrics. And I don't know, he had a few little funny like struggles, but him being the way he is, he's just laughing it all off. And
at one point, he's got his composition book, like Rachel said. And at one point the wind blew the pages open and we could see, and you could see that he had handwritten, like the music, the 5 lines, I forget. The score,
staffs, yeah.
And he had written and he had written it all out. Pretty amazing.
Wow. Huh. So now, before jumping into the set, I know traditionally the second show is usually like during the day when everyone does their sightseeing or visiting places they haven't gotten to visit, or maybe places they have and then really enjoy. Is there any places that you guys made a point to hit while in Portland?
We saw Matt at the art fair.
Yeah, I would say we go to Portland probably 4 times a year. I love it up there. I became a Timbers fan, the soccer team, about 10 years ago. So we go to 3 or 4 matches. Sue's daughter lives up there. So yeah, we went to the Saturday morning market. We did a hike down one side of the river and then up the other side. There's a art project going on right now in Portland where there are these giant crows that people have painted differently. And so Sue got it in her head after I took a couple pictures of her next to 2 crows. We wound up finding 11 of them. But yeah, it's a great city. I mean, it's my favorite city that I've been to, period. Awesome. I mean, we're going back up in November.
Okay. How about you, Rachel? I would imagine that's close for you, right? Portland, it's
yeah. So we actually, I didn't tell you this part. We all our Seattle crew was like, oh, we're going to help everyone figure out this, because some people were like, oh, we're going to fly from Portland to Seattle. We're like, no, don't do that. You're going to be in an airport way longer than you need to. Right. Like it's much faster to drive. So myself and a couple others, we got a van. And we drove down together. And then we basically just brought more people back with us on the way back. So we kind of coordinated with, and of course some people were coming or going. So we ended up shuffling based on who was at what hotel and what time people wanted to leave. But we're all friends. So we just kind of figured out who should go where. So that was fun, doing a little road trip aspect.
Hold Steady caravan.
It was totally the Hold Steady party pit van. I was like, party pit van. So that's what we did.
Did anyone throw confetti in the van?
We did.
Because I would have thrown confetti in the van just to have it
to make the rental people really mad. There was no confetti.
As a former 20-year Enterprise rent-a-car employee, yeah, that wouldn't have made them very happy.
that would not fly. There you go. Yep. Matt's like, that's the worst idea you guys could have.
Yeah, I don't know how you clean the confetti out of the car. That would be interesting. Maybe with like a blower of some sort might work.
Oh, and when we got to there, we just went to like a weird place to eat when we got there. So one of the people we were with, Brandy, found this place called the Hawthorne Asylum. it's like a asylum themed place.
Right up my alley.
Weird. But then you go in and it's just a bunch of like permanent kind of food trucks, maybe 20 of them. I mean, there were tons. And so we just hung out there and got some food.
I was kind of hoping it would have been food served by like Hannibal Lecter and a guy in the mask and like just full on go into the asylum.
People did find a bar that was more like that. It was like witchy, haunted themed or something. So
Shutter Island.
I did not go to that. I don't know. But I think there are places, like I think if you want those kinds of places, Portland has them. So
the only thing I know about Portland is from the show Portlandia. That's literally all I know.
Yes. It's not untrue, that show. I mean,
okay.
It's an exaggeration, but that's sort of true.
Absolutely.
I would say. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So to jump into the set, just looking at it cursory, it's quite a bit of hits.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the set?
It was what I expected. They did boys and girls,
Yeah, it's boys and girls played through for the first 12 songs with the two.
Yep.
Right.
It's girls like Status. Yep.
I mean, that's the best part of it being an album playthrough is you're going to get, you're getting.
Oh, and the Chill Out tent. Who was the?
I was going to ask if there was a guest on Chill Out tent.
Who the guest was on Chill Out? I mean, it was Franz doing the male part, but I can't.
Really?
She was local. Yeah,
I would have liked to see that actually.
This is embarrassing. I should have prepared. I can look it up.
I can't remember her name, but she was local. You talk about playing the hits, and I just think that that whole part, that show was part of what they call PDX Live. So during August, they do like 12 shows. I mean, Beach Bunny and the Beths are going to be there. Sugar, Courtney Barnett. So I think that
Anita Franco was just there.
Yeah, for shows like that, at least I think, maybe I could be wrong, that the people coming to those shows, they might not know a whole lot of what the Hold Steady is about. They're not people that have seen them before. They're just coming because it's PDX Live, right? So they know people in the back with it. So I think that's, you're going to, obviously they're playing boys and girls, but yeah, it's going to be a tight set and it's going to be the hits. They're not going to play, obscure deep tracks.
I did expect one or two boys and girls B-sides though. Like we got in Boston. Like I was hoping they might do Arms and Hearts or For Boston or something, you know what I mean?
Right.
But we didn't get those there. We did get something. I guess we got Arms and Hearts the next night.
Right. On this, it's pretty much Malachi and Jessica, and I think that's the only one that I would really call
new song. Yeah.
Right. Same Kooks. Same Kooks is
that's boys and girls.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's on the album proper though, or that's extra? I always get that.
No, it's on the album.
Yeah,
this is what happens when you listen to everything on Spotify. This is the problem.
This is what happens when you see them play boys and girls 5 times in a year.
Well, and say they had Entitlement Crew and Sequestered on the set list, but they were crossed out. They didn't have time. Yeah, it's going to be a shorter set list when you've got basically 2 headliners.
Right. Well, that's night 3.
Well, and that's what I was just about to reference, because usually they're good for 25 songs, and here you had 20, and you're saying they crossed 2 out. So by the time you were done, you got 18 all in, which is still a long show.
They did the same thing Sunday. They did the same thing Sunday. It was Hurricane J and Family Farm, and they crossed them out.
Oh, so they cut 2 songs from night 2 as well?
I didn't notice that, but you're probably right, Matt.
So they actually had a show they didn't play Sequestered in Memphis, which is interesting too. Of all the songs they were cut.
Wait, I got it here. Set list. FM says Entitlement Crew and Sequestered in Memphis were on set list but not played.
Interesting.
So those were the 2 that got cut.
Huh. From the second night?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a show that they didn't play Sequestered.
Me too, which is why hearing that was one of the ones they cut out of all the songs they could have cut, that was the one they decided to go with is interesting.
Right. And it was this set and out. There was no encore or anything like that?
Correct, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they had a hard out at, I believe it was 10 p.m.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because it's a public square, so that would make sense, yeah.
Right.
Oh, I should comment on the quality of the music, because a lot of people commented on that. So you're in a bowl in this place, right? In the middle of the city, surrounded by buildings. And there were many audience, more audiophile type audience members than me who were that sound was not where it should have been. And then I think the band also had some feelings about how the sound was. Yeah. So I don't know why it wasn't adjusted for. I guess people were don't they know how to fix this by now? This venue has existed. Why has nobody tried to address the echoing situation here? I mean, as somebody who's more casual about this, I didn't, it was okay for me. But there was some echoing. You could hear it.
One of the explanations I got was where you and I were, Rachel, right in front of the monitors, that we were getting the PA and the monitors, and there was about maybe a half a second delay. So you were getting kind of Craig twice. But I mean, it was great. It's not a complaint.
No, the show was great. But I think, to me, the sound was better at the other 2. Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Like no issues on a tiny venue like Mississippi, no issues at the zoo where you're just in an open field.
Well, which kind of makes sense because if you're that close to the front, like you guys probably were, and then at a band that uses in-ears, so you hear the stage PA so they could hear what they're playing as the PA is picking up what they're putting through. So there's that really short delay where if you're in the right spot, it sounds awful. So I could see why people would catch on that. But usually the further back away, it just becomes straight PA. So you lose some of that, again, depending on the setup of the room and the acoustics of the space and where slapback is. But if you have time to sound check, a good audio engineer tends to adjust for that because that could happen in any room.
Right. And can I say a really technical, boring thing? We can cut this out because it's so technical and boring. But I saw them wearing, I don't know, did this go on for the weekend? But at Mississippi Studios, I saw them wearing like metallic in-ears. So everybody got earrings. And I was like, they had some like metallic, were those new in-ears or did you guys not notice that?
No, I was going to say, I thought they started using in-ears, maybe not at every show, yeah.
The first time I saw them with the in-ears was in Minneapolis, and I actually asked about that at the sound check, and they had said, yeah, we had just switched to those.
Right.
So they've been doing it since 24, I guess? 25.
Right. So it must have just been the lighting because I was like, oh, everybody's got double gold earrings or silver earrings. So I was just picking up on the metallic really much, but okay.
Oh, I forgot to ask, walkout music for this show. Do you remember what it was?
I'm going to fail you on all of these things.
That's okay.
I should have paid attention to.
Bay City Rollers.
I'm sorry.
It was Bay City Rollers. Okay.
Well, Saturday night.
That's usually
that's for their Saturday
I should have
night.
known that one. We were singing along. Yeah.
Yeah. I always like to ask just to see if they're going to switch it up because they do every now and again. Like, do you guys remember when like the Yankee Rose, but in Spanish language, was the song that they were coming out to for a while?
I laughed I laughed because I have that record on vinyl.
I bet you Kevin has that record too.
And the other thing is before the show at Pioneer Square, they're just playing music, right? And it was a lot. They were all bands from Portland,
okay,
or Seattle. They were, it was like this, Slater Kinney, Wild Flag, and a couple of them I had to look up, and I'm like, oh, they're from Portland too.
Nice.
And I'm sure it goes without saying, even though it's not on the set list, Josh got up for Stay Positive. He did his beer and moment. Okay. Always got to make sure he's represented.
Look up who did Chill Out Tent because we should include that if I can.
Oh yeah.
Track it down.
Well,
see if I can.
I saw it on social media.
Was this outdoors? This show?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how did the confetti go in the outdoor space?
We had confetti. We did the confetti.
Did it just go every which way? Did it become like a confetti cannon?
It was blown all over the stage. It was hilarious, actually.
Awesome. See?
Yeah.
Homemade confetti cannons. People pay a lot of money to have those shoot to the crowd, so you guys did it for them for much cheaper.
As we do. We're so helpful. So it was Lauren Denizio. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, and I should know where that person is from, but I don't.
I'd really like to see Franz do the male part. That would be interesting. I've never seen that before.
I liked it. I think he did a good job.
I mean, that'd be more impressive if Franz did the female part, but I think that would be more memorable, but we'll go with the male part for now.
All right. Before we move off of night 2, is there any highlights you wanted to point out as far as songs off the set list?
I tell you what, if I was going to introduce someone to the band, I might put this on a Spotify and just give it to them.
I could see it. It's
yeah. And the outdoor shows are both, I mean, I've talked to other people about this. They're like kind of like a 40% hold steady show, right? Because it's just not, I just don't feel like you get the same energy when it's this like big outdoor space. You just can't, I don't know. There's something about being in like a sweaty pit that just is different in these things to me. So I don't know.
And it's kind of like I hinted to earlier. It's like, in something like, Hoodrat or Constructive Summer or something like that, where you turn around and if you look back behind maybe the 10th or 12th row, there's a lot of people kind of with their arms folded just watching. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's not something that, this isn't their 5th or 6th time.
Right.
it's not like massive nights where like the entire venue is singing and doing the motions and knows they're all there like for a reason. These people there was definitely a lot of people who maybe it's their first show, maybe they're a casual fan, like Matt said, but yeah, I mean, not that that's bad, and I'm always happy when more people like learn about the band and want to get involved.
Absolutely,
and see them. That's all good for the band, all good. But like as a fan, it's just a different energy level when there's not like so many people who are like so happy to be there. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Massive Nights is on a whole other level. You almost really can't compare that to another show because it really is the Super Bowl for the year. In my opinion, I mean, we've definitely
but even
had
in the Boston shows, I feel like all those like small shows were still like a different energy level. There's just something about an indoor small space to me.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe that's just
I could totally see that.
But
I mean, considering the show ended at 10:00, did you guys have a late night then? Did you guys stay out? And on the West Coast, I imagine everything closes at 2. That tends to be the go-to time to shut down out there. So,
yeah, Matt and I landed at some place that I don't remember the name of that we could walk to, and then
I could go
Sandy
back and look at my receipts. I could look at my receipt.
Check the credit card statement.
Some random place that was open. Yeah.
Yeah. That Saturday night was, we walked over to that place, had a grilled cheese and a couple of beers. And then we went back to the hotel. We got back to the hotel about 11:30 or 12. But again, we had been out all day and, doing hikes and whatnot. And then being in the sun. So, and plus we knew, I mean, I was getting up the next morning to drive to Seattle. So I thought, you know what, let's call this one early.
Right.
We went to Kelly's Olympian. I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what?
If anyone cares.
Now that you think about it, we went to the Sandy Hut after Kelly's Olympian. So cut all that out. Because that's right. I forgot we did.
Too good to be true. You're like, that's not right. We definitely were out later than that. We didn't just have a few beers and a grilled cheese. That's not us.
I think what it was we were walking back to the hotel and it was more like, Sandy Hut, should we go? I don't know. Should we? Let's go.
We're like, other people are going there. Let's go. So meet all the other people. That's what we did.
That's what happened.
It definitely becomes like not peer pressure, but you hear that like, well, these guys are going to hang out there. So we should that's where everything's happening. And then there's that always thing in the background where it's like, and the band might show up. You never know.
So yeah, that's how I feel. Like for me, these are like, these are not the way I live my normal life, like at all. Like I'm a much more boring normal life with my family and stuff. So like these are the opportunities when I go out ridiculously late and spend time with friends who I only see at these, or almost only see at these kinds of events. So I want to make the most of it. And if I'm tired the next day, so be it. You know what I mean? So it's not like so much peer pressure as like, let's fit in all the fun that we can in these 3 days that we all have together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could totally see that. All right, that's a pretty good segue into night 3. So you drive to Seattle.
That's like 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
About 3.5 hours, something like that. Okay. Yeah, Matt and I were in separate little van or, separate cars.
Did you have walkie-talkies? Were you guys talking back and forth?
No, we should have.
Enterprise gave me a Ford Bronco, which I had to laugh. It wasn't a Bronco 2.
Was it white?
It was, yeah.
That's awesome.
Did you drive really slow? So you had to drive really slow then, right down the middle of the highway? Okay.
Driving up Interstate 5 very slow.
I drove with a few people. We stopped at Dick's, which is like an institution kind of place here in Seattle to get really cheap burgers. It's famous. There's a few of them. So we went there and got food. And then Emily lives in Seattle, so we get to hang out in real life too. Her brother has like businesses at the zoo. So like if you want to get a caricature or get your face painted or airbrush or any of that stuff, he like runs all those businesses.
Oh wow!
I have my Jimothy airbrushing that I got from him, which I'm still pleased about.
Wow!
We all got a little treat from her brother.
That's pretty cool. I mean, there's probably not too many experiences where it's like, I went to the zoo and then went to go see a rock show.
I went to 3 Zoo Tunes shows in 2 weeks, which is really unusual. I saw just a couple days ago, I saw the Rat Boys and Jesse Wells, and then I saw Ani DeFranco like a week before that. So, so they're good Zoo Tunes. So it's an odd venue for the Hold Steady for sure. But yeah, they get some good acts.
There was an awesome picture in it was on the Hold Steady page of Steve and Tad and a penguin just kind of hanging out.
That's what they do. If you come and play the zoo, apparently you get a a really intimate tour with the Penguins, which is kind of neat. Yeah,
Wow.
I've seen other artists have gotten to do the same. So it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I mean, for me, it was really, really nice. The big open area. And like Rachel said, you had a lot of people there, lawn chairs, blankets. They brought in their own, coolers with stuff. I actually didn't realize this, but when the tickets came, it said that I bought like some kind of VIP seats. And it's like, oh, you're in row B, seats 1 and 2. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool, I guess. And then we get there and they're Adirondack plastic chairs that you would get at like Lowe's, but they're set back about 50. They're back about 50 feet and there's a rope around them. And I just walked in, I'm like, yeah, I'm not sitting there. So basically, I'm at the front. So
that's where you'd find this guy. Give me those seats every day.
Actually, I went back there and I went back there and there was a guy, we had seats 1 and 2. There was a guy in seat 3. And I just told him, I go, hey, if you got any friends, you want to bring them in, you can have these 2 seats.
They're good if you get to the zoo late and you're like, otherwise you're like way, way in the back. But if you want to be up front and that's your plan, they're not great for that.
I got to ask what the upgrade is to be in the VIP Lowe's plastic Adirondack chair.
You mean the money? I don't remember.
Yeah, what?
I think it's a lot. I don't think it's trivial.
Do they give you a can koozie with it? You got something.
Again,
it's just not
Kevin,
where you want to be in that venue necessarily.
I'll go back to my credit card statements from like whenever we bought these like last month.
So now we got the Hold Steady go first. What now they're in Seattle. Please tell me it was Sir Mix-a-Lot. Who was the Seattle band that they walked out to? I'm going Sir Mix-a-Lot is the biggest Seattle band of all time.
That's a great question.
I'm just trying to make Rachel mad, but I do believe in that.
I'm going to fail you yet again. I'm so sorry. I'm like the worst.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You think I know? Because I love Seattle music. I mean, all of it, like I don't remember it being like a grunge song or anything that like jumped out at me. Or Sir Mix-a-Lot. That would have been hilarious.
And depending on the venue, sometimes it's just whatever the sound guy is playing. I mean,
I really don't remember the song.
Yeah.
When we were standing outside waiting to get into the venue, I was hanging out with Emily, who some of you may know. And of course, she immediately recognizes someone walking in like as a VIP. And it's the woman, Alex, the lead singer of Cumulus in Seattle. Okay. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go sing a song with them tonight. And we're like, oh, now we understand why you're here.
What song
so that was kind of rad. Of course, she knows her. And just like her and her husband and baby going in, it's like, cool. Yeah, so that was pretty neat.
And that, I would assume that was her doing party. Chill Out Tent, rather.
Chill Out Tent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool opportunity for her because as it turned out, to get ahead of this a little bit, it was her and John Darnielle.
Right.
Chill Out 10, which was amazing.
Yeah, that I saw. That was pretty cool. So one thing about this set is it's going to be because it's another album playthrough, but it's pretty much almost identical to the set the night before, which is uncommon for them. They don't tend to do that. There are a couple of slight differences. That they did play Arms and Hearts, which talk about that a little bit because you're waiting to hear that song all weekend.
I was happy to hear it. Yeah, I wanted like a deep cut, So
that and Jupiter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I expected the sets to be really similar only because they're pretty short sets. Like they don't have a lot of time beyond if they're committed to doing the album, right? They only have a handful more songs they can do. So I think by default, they don't have a lot of room to do, if they're going to do Killer Parties, if they're going to do Hoodrat, you know what I mean? Like there's only a few changes they could even make. So, which is fine.
And again, no encore on this set either. So that's also limiting some of the room. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as mentioned, Hurricane J and Family Farm, you give us 18 songs total.
Family Farm would have been a good zoo show. That was actually our big joke going what are the zoo songs? Like we had, hang on, I'll tell you a funny, let me see if I can find the list because it was very amusing.
At a show like that, the stage is, raised up, right? So it's probably about 4 feet high. And then there's an area in front before the barricade the barricade's probably 4 or 5 feet back. So stay positive. Josh comes out and, he does his bit and then, gets to the part where he's holding the mic out. Like at a small show, he'd put the mic right out in front of us. So he has to jump. Well, he didn't have to, but he decides to jump off the stage. He jumps off the stage in front of us and just face plants. like goes down on one knee. He goes down on one knee. He gets up, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" While he's in the middle of the song, and then he does the thing with
Poor
us, and then he
Josh.
comes back on the stage. I was worried for him, but
I know it did not look good. I mean, poor Josh. Yeah, he recovered nicely and quickly, but I mean, it did not look. I mean, it looked painful.
I'm picturing a broken ankle or something.
All right, so here were our zoo songs that we were saying they should do, which was Party Snake Pit, Bar Fruit Fly Blues, You Can Make Him Like News, like NGNUS, Hanover Camel, You Did Good Koala, Birdwatchers, Hornets, and then of course the Bear and the Maiden Fair, which we all loved. And then I know
That's perfect.
And then of course Snake in the Shower. And Hoodrat
Good one.
And Cattle and the Creeping Things and Family Farm. So those were our zoo. If we did a zoo theme, that was our suggestions.
Very good.
That would have been another 45 minutes.
It really would. It would have been a whole other concert, but it could have been fun.
And so now you had said that this is the show that we did get some guesting one way or the other. So tell that story.
Yeah, you mentioned the lady from the band, and then John Darnielle did the guy part. And
Alex was really good too.
It is normal bouncing around like a pogo stick, like he always does. Again, he's great.
That was good.
All right.
Yeah, they were really good.
Did they come out for any of the any of the Mountain Goats songs?
Fred came out and did this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And if you go online and watch the video, he's just manic, even more so. He's just running around and jumping and clapping and just quintessential Fred.
And it looks like there's a video of him from another show doing it, and it looks a lot like that, like where he's just bouncing off the walls, like awesome, super happy.
Right.
It's great.
Almost like he's talking about song number 3 from John's one CD. He gets really excited when that song comes up. So
True.
Yeah.
And again, there's no encore. They're just playing straight through 18 songs off the stage. Mountain Goats come out.
Yeah, and our group intentionally did not bring confetti because we're at a zoo. There are animals here. Like, we're not trying to harm the animals. There were some people who did bring confetti. I was very, very surprised to see any confetti. It was very minimal, though, I would say.
Right. That's fair.
It just doesn't feel like the right venue for it,
I was going to say, this is more visual, but they got to the part where we throw confetti. And I don't know, we didn't plan this, but I know it's an audio, not a visual, but we all threw our hands up like we were throwing confetti, but there was nothing in them.
Oh, all right.
Because you have to. It's like,
we didn't.
Here's
we didn't talk to each other about it. We just did it.
It's an involuntary action at this point.
That was what had to happen.
So do you guys think you freaked out the Mountain Goat Only fans? Because
they're like, what are these people doing?
Come on, right? Yeah. The normies freak out the normies.
To be fair, so.
It's true.
So did you guys get a sense? Was there more Mountain Goat fans or more Hold Steady fans? Were you able to get a sense of that, or not really?
I didn't get a sense of it personally.
Crossed over. Okay.
It's hard to say because all the people in the back, but I did. I mean, looking back, I took a picture, holding up the camera or the phone pointing backwards, and I looked at it later, and there was a lot of people, like even way more than Pioneer Square.
Big venue.
Yeah, big venue. So you mentioned there's no encore, but it's kind of wild. I knew based on the night before, I figured we started an hour earlier. I'm sure they have a hard out at 9:00, right? So the Mountain Goats finish with No Children, and they go to leave the stage, and it's like 8:57, and someone says, "Well, they're going to come out for an encore." I'm like, "Well, no, they're not." Well, they didn't turn the house lights on. I mean, it's not a house, but they didn't turn the white lights on. The stage lights were still on. So at like 8:50, 8:30, John comes back out, and he says, "I don't have time to play another song, but I can be out here for 90 more seconds. So work with me, everybody. You ready?" And he goes, just a cappella, he goes, "Back in Black." And he holds the mic out. And so we basically sang Back in Black for about 90 seconds. And then he looks at his watch and says, "Okay, gotta go. Thanks, everybody." And he walks up.
Wow.
That's hysterical.
That's cool.
Jesus.
His comments on the whole Candlebox thing were hilarious as well. Like all his I want to be, he was explaining how touring works, how basically if people need an intro, that there's essentially his words were it's an email blast to see who wants to play. And he heard this about Candlebox, and he basically told his manager yes, please let us play one show with Candlebox. He's very excited about that, and it was really cute hearing his storytelling about that.
And then I haven't even told you this, Rachel, but it's funny. I'm cruising through Instagram a couple days ago, And you know how every fourth one is an ad, and I get this ad for Candlebox at the observatory in San Diego. It's coming up.
Of course, because your phone is listening. Yep.
Exactly. But they're coming to Southern California.
Go see Candlebox.
They're playing with a band of mine, Candlebox, at the Field of Dreams in September. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. I just saw them in Chicago.
At the Field of Dreams in Iowa?
Yeah, they do festivals there. It's called Velocity.
Mike's been there.
And they do concerts on the field.
I could have worked yesterday, but I had my other job. Otherwise, I would have been down there working it yesterday. The Field of Dreams.
But the Twins got boat race, so you wouldn't have been happy anyway.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't go. Yeah, I was.
Well, if you work the one Labor Day weekend, let me know. There's a good chance I'm flying out for that one.
Well, okay.
So all in all, sounds like a very unique weekend, different than a lot of the other residencies they did. Seemed like a lot of fun. You guys got anything that we didn't cover that you'd like to throw in?
We walked down after the show at the zoo. We walked down to the neighborhood, the Finney neighborhood, and we went to a pretty cool little place there for a little while.
We ended up after that at a place called the Wits End. That the funniest part of it was I felt like I was in somebody's like parents' basement. It was very like rec room. Like there was like a pool table that you paid like 75 cents to play a game. And then it had darts and like they were letting us play our own music. So we were just blasting the Hold Steady in this little room. And it was so random. And they were just letting us hang out and just, we weren't even like buying that much to drink or anything. I literally felt like I was like, we're in somebody's parents' basement, just playing games and listening to music. And yeah, it was fun.
I will say that the merch was pretty strong for this show. There's one particular shirt I'm looking at that, and I think it's a take on another band's image, but it's Lee's picture from England that he took. I actually own that picture. I bought a print from. Is that Salt Shed? I thought it was England.
It's the Salt Shed. Yeah, it's out and onto the Salt Shed audience. I'm almost positive I saw that picture posted somewhere, and then I think they used that picture for the shirt.
Yeah, I have that picture as a print. But
Matt's going to agree with me, though. That's the Supersonic shirt. Looks like the one. That looked just like maybe their top 5.
That's the green one with
I have the old school one from
skyline?
2019.
Yeah,
they brought it back.
I bought the Portland, Oregon shirt's really neat too. It's the famous Old Town sign that's on the top of a building in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that the blue one with the state?
Yeah,
with the state
and then
picture. Okay.
On the bottom it says Old Town, and on the shirt it says Stay Positive. But I bought 2 shirts and the sign poster, and
and the Mountain Goats poster is it's a double-sider. So one was for Portland, one was for Seattle, and I think they signed different sides, different nights.
No, I
restrained myself and only bought one.
I got my poster home and opened it up, and both sides are signed on this one.
I haven't opened mine up. Okay, good to know.
But yeah, you're talking about that,
hang out?
Picture. That picture on the shirt from the Salt Shed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Steve posted a picture of that on his Instagram, and he said, "Hey, my Carson Hocevar NASCAR shirt made it onto a T-shirt."
I love that picture. And Kev, did you see that shirt? Because I feel like I want to say Soundgarden.
Isn't it Smashing Pumpkins Gish?
Is it? It could be.
Let me see.
It could be.
Smashing Pumpkins Gish.
I love that shirt though. I have a rule about shirts and posters. If I did not go to the show, I'm not allowed to buy them. Because
if you look up Smashing Pumpkins Gish, I feel like that might be what it's trying to homage a bit.
It is a 90s shirt. I feel like, yes, I think you're right. A 90s.
Although Gish is not in front of a live audience like that is, but it's the same circle setup and everything. But if you look it up on your share screen, you'll see it.
Gas, I feel the same way about the shirts. That Sonic shirt, the gray one like Rachel has, that's been on the website for a while, and I want it, but I refused to buy it because I didn't go. So I was super stoked when I saw that it was going to be in Seattle.
You got to control it somehow. Like I literally I had an office where I was able to put up a lot more posters. Now I can't put up as many. There's like 8 posters and frames behind me right now that don't fit in my house. It's like you got to control it somehow.
I have a loft and both walls are full of posters. And like you, I have now like 5 or 6 framed that are leaning up against the wall. I don't know what to do.
It was
I don't know if I could share my screen, or I can share my Like I can't flip my phone, I guess.
Rachel's she's got a good little display behind it.
Yeah.
Jeez,
I've seen you've posted the this before on the positive posting.
And then
group.
these are the ones I need to hang. Got this one, and this one, and I've got 2 more. So the walls are getting full. My shrine, as my husband calls it, and I've got my bags and my guys.
Remember when you go to Kmart,
Legos?
and you'd flip through the posters?
The big racks.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one of those.
Yeah. For Kevin and I, it would have been probably numbers, records, and tapes. If you remember that place, sitting there on the rack, just flipping the posters.
Crazy.
That's one thing I love about vinyl being back is I always miss that sound of at the record store flipping the vinyl, flip. The vinyl.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I always buy the shirts because I feel like that's also like what keeps the band going. So I mean, Josh, I'm sure makes fun of me, but I'm like, I'll take that shirt and that shirt. Good, bye. Like that's my norm. Like, give me a couple of shirts while I'm here.
Kev, you could probably speak to this better than I could, but I would imagine merch is a huge part of how they're making their money. No,
I mean, I would think. I mean, ideally, especially because this is so market specific. I mean, Josh does a very good job, even when we talk to him, of gauging what they should order, and they don't usually get stuck with a ton of overstock. So they know going in the cost versus take home. But yeah, ideally, you can only put so much when you're talking about rooms that hold 500-800 people. Like, even if everybody's putting $10 a head, which is a good average because not everybody buys. So if you get to $10-20 a head, which, Rush is doing $75 a head just to give you comparable levels of what merch is. So like if you're doing $20 a head at 800, you're talking $16K just for that one show, which probably helps,
Wow. So. Well, the merch was very cool. I'm a little jealous. All right. Well, thank you guys for doing this. This was a lot of fun, and wish I could have been there with you guys. Maybe in a future year I will make it up. I would love to. I've never made it that far west, so.
Well, got that. We all got that.
I guess I said why not? Well, I guess I said why not? Well, I guess I said why not? Well, I guess I said why not?
Thanks a lot, Rachel and Matt, for a great conversation, a great breakdown of what sounded like an awesome weekend in the Pacific Northwest. I got to say, out of all the things that I was kind of the most excited that I would want to check out if I was there would be the Hold Steady van ride from Portland to Seattle. That just sounds like a blast.
A lot of fun.
Like that sounds like if you're going to do something fun to road trip with a bunch of the scene. I mean, you and I have road trip to shows, and it's fine because we go places all the time. But like to get like 10 to 15 people in a passenger van, that's got to be a blast.
The closest I came is when they played the festival that they put together upstate. There was a bus that left from Brooklyn, and I took that bus hoping to have a similar experience. I don't know if it's that I didn't know as much of the scene back then, or if it was just a weird mixed crowd, but it was not. It was not what I expected. It was basically just a bus ride, which is fine. But it would be nice to be part of a Hold Steady road trip. That's definitely something to put on the bucket list.
I just have this visual like the scene in Almost Famous where they're on the bus and they all start singing Tiny Dancer, except they're all singing like a First Night or some other like Hold Steady song.
That would be awesome.
Right? That's how.
I gotta say, Kev, good pick. That would be an excellent road trip.
Wouldn't that be a great song 100%. For everybody on the thing to sing along to? Come on now.
All right. Well, I did want to just kick to a little bit of news. If you've been paying attention to the band's Facebook, you'll probably already know this, but I'd like to put this out there anyway. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of Boys and Girls in America, the Hold Steady is releasing a repress of Boys and Girls in America Deluxe Edition for Record Store Day, Black Friday, on Friday, November 27th. Originally released in 2016, the album's 10th anniversary, this deluxe edition features the full album, including Stuck Between Stations, Ships Ahoy, and First Night, plus a second LP of remastered bonus tracks and demos. So that's pretty cool. It's a really awesome, like purple, kind of smoky cover. I already have mine on the way, of course. But definitely pick that up on Record Store Day. And we will, there's a link to that. We'll link to that in the show notes. And then the second thing I just wanted to shout out was we spoke on our Chicago episode about the really awesome Q&A that Jim Hankey did at the Salt Shed. So it's on Vinyl Emergency. It's the latest episode, or at least it is at the time of this recording. Recorded live in Chicago earlier this summer at the Treetop Lounge at the Salt Shed. The whole study joined Vinyl Emergency host Jim Hankey and Boys and Girls in America producer John Angelo to look back at the writing, recording, and behind-the-scenes stories of the album as we celebrated its 20th anniversary. This was such a great interview. I mean, Mike, you were there. Like, I'm so happy he put this episode out. I've kind of become a big fan of Vinyl Emergency since that show, because he really puts on, if you haven't checked him out, you definitely need to check him out. Kev, you should listen to this episode for sure.
I will definitely give it a
was
listen.
Pretty awesome.
It was amazing with they're handing the mics around, and it sounds better than our podcast, I think, guys.
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to say. Like, the sound that he got off of, they were literally just using like a typical silver like handheld microphone, and we're passing the microphone around to the whole group. And the sound on that episode is unreal. It almost makes me wonder if he had him mic'd separately from that microphone.
And speaking of podcasts, like if I went to the movie theater, like if our listeners went to the movie theater and saw the movie Body Cam, which I'm guessing they didn't, because looking at the numbers, I don't think anybody saw that movie.
I don't think
but if they wanted to hear if they wanted to hear a 90-minute review on the movie Body Cam, where could they go to get that, guys, with Gaspar and Kevin breaking it down?
So our friends at the Canadian Movie Crew put out a show called Or Is It? And so Kevin and I joined them to review Body Cam, which is a terrible movie, but it was a lot of fun to do.
You thought you understood the movie, but something's still watching.
At the Or Is It Movie Podcast, we uncover hidden meanings, buried clues, and truths that refuse to stay dead.
When the story you were told isn't the whole truth, we find the real story behind the story.
The Or Is It Movie Podcast. Listen, if you dare.
It was fun to talk about, and I do, shout out to Derek and Mark. They're great guys. We have a great time with them. But honestly, I felt like that pick was directed at me because I've given them so many bad movies. Slacks Aside, which is a classic, but Turbulence about the balloon. Like, I've made them watch some dog movies, and Body Cam is brutal. I talked to somebody today about Body Cam, and I didn't tell them we did the podcast because it was a work thing, but they're like, you see any good horror movies? I'm like, I saw a really bad horror movie. If you want to check it out, it's a Shudder original. And they're like, oh, Shudder has good movies. I'm like, this is not one of them.
Well, it was a lot of fun to do, and if you'd like to hear us talk about it, definitely head on over to them. It's the Or Is It podcast from the Canadian Movie Crew.
And I guess that's going to do it for us, right? We appreciate everybody tuning in, checking us out. We got some great feedback on the Diamonds in the Drain episode. The numbers are close. We'll have a few more of those coming up in the near future. Thanks again to Rachel and Matt for coming on and chatting with us. And again, we do this because you guys listen. We see the numbers. We see the engagement. We got speak pipes. So when we get speak pipes, we know somebody's listening because you have to know how to click that button so you're listening. And we appreciate that. So if you like what we do, give us a follow. Share with a friend, tell a friend. We appreciate the feedback, good, bad, ugly. People that agree with me and Mike on Lord, I'm Discouraged. John, like those are our new favorite people. Anybody that really goes against Gaspar and feels the pain that I feel when we do the Freddie Knuckles really is top tier in our book. So we appreciate that. And Gaspar, why don't you tell them where they can find us?
Sure. So the best jumping off point for all things Hoodrat Recap is our link tree, which is linktr.ee/the Hoodrat Recap. Or you can head over to our website, which is simply www.thehoodratrecap.com. And, Mike, I get the feeling that sometimes people want to talk back to us. Like this is a one-way medium, kind of like we're putting it out there. They listen, which is awesome. But like, what if they want to talk back to us? How would they do that?
They can do what John and Ben did in this episode, and they can just click on the link in the show notes. It's called SpeakPipe. It's just voicemail. You click on it, you get 90 seconds to talk. If 90 seconds isn't enough, leave us 2 or 3 messages, and you will hear yourself on the next episode like our new friends John and Ben did. And Ben was from Oklahoma. Let's see if we can get all 50 states. Let's see if we can get every country in Europe. Those 2 guys in New Zealand that listen, why don't you leave one? Let's do it.
Let's get a map of the states, and a blank one, and we'll write in people when they call in. That would be legit. Let's do that. Let's make that graphic. We'll get a graphic of all 50 states, and we'll get a map of a globe, and we'll just write in as people call in. So Ben gets to be our Oklahoma. Do we know where John was from?
He does say it in the message.
All right, so we got to double check, and then we're just going to fill in the map. And if you see a state you're not in, just call us from even if you just visit. You don't have to live there. Just visit.
I like that idea a lot. All right, that's going to do it for us. That's Mike. That's Kevin. I'm Gaspar, and that was Rachel and Matt, and us guys, and all you guys and gals. We are all the Hoodrat Recap.
A killer party's almost killed me.
Head over to our website, which is simply www.thehoodratrecap.com. I didn't say that right. Let's do it again. Hoodrat Recap.
Hoodrat Recap. Body cop.
This was a production by Secret Suburb Studio.
Located between the Hall of Justice and the Brady Bunch House is the worldwide headquarters of the 70s versus the 80s podcast, where they tackle such controversial subjects as
what song featured the drummer's girlfriend moaning as she was getting busy with the lead singer?
You'll never guess which Muppet was drafted number 1.
What was your favorite Halloween costume? Darth Vader in a ski jacket or Spider-Man in a ski jacket? Listen to the 70s versus the 80s podcast everywhere. FM, AM, and maybe even VHS?
No. Mike, it's a podcast. None of those are true.